Welcome back to our final episode in this series. We're in Mount Gambier, seeing the sights and still battling mechanical issues with the Navara.
We make the decision to call it quits and head home, but it's not all smooth sailing. G'day, we are Sparkies on the Loose, both electricians. This is Curtis. My name is Amy, and this is our trusty four-legged apprentice, Rusty. We've been travelling around Australia for the past few years in our car and caravan. We're not afraid to get off the beaten track, and we have been documenting our adventures on the road as we go. Hit subscribe, sit back, and buckle up.
Alright, so continuing on with the Navara cooling issues. So we're driving along now and the car is overheating and we're towing as well. So this is all very new for the old nav. So there's something definitely wrong, and I'm still thinking it's that water pump. Fingers crossed if we replace the water pump it fixes the problem. Because what's happening, I'm shooting it with the thermo gun, and both the intake and the outtake on the radiator, there's not much difference in the temperatures. So it means, what I'm thinking is the water pump is not flowing around and it's just cooling the radiator and nothing else. So yeah, fingers crossed that's the case. So we got an hour, we're at Safe End at the moment, we got an hour drive to Mount Gambier. So originally we were going to keep touring down, but this is a pretty serious problem because if we don't tackle it now, it could get a lot worse, and then we crack ahead, blow the engine, it's game over. So yeah, 1 hour drive. Fingers crossed it makes the 1 hour drive. We're going to go halfway, check it, because the overflow bottle's starting to fill up again. Because when we pull over and let it cool down, the overflow bottle puts it all back in. So I know that it's all sealed and everything's working in that respect. So hopefully we'll get there. Once we get there, I'll fix it, and then we can analyse the situation from there.
Yeah, a little bit earlier, but hey, yeah, we're going to go Mount Gambier, so
yeah.
Let's see if we make it. Fingers crossed.
So we made it to Mount Gambier. We sat on like 70 kilometers an hour. Because as soon as I hit 80 kilometers an hour, the engine would start going up to halfway heating, which I've never seen before in the Nav's life. It's only just started to, the gauge has only just started to do that. So it's very concerning, but we made it. So what I'm doing now, and we got the water pump. The new water pump's here, so that's good. Happy days. Everything's lining up. I went to Super Cheap, bought some sealant and all the stuff to do this, and so this afternoon I've decided to drain it, and I've actually removed the radiator. So this is what the engine bay looks like currently. No radiator. Now I found something very interesting. The stuff that I have used, because I thought it was a cracked head, I used that green bottle to try and fix the crack. But what that's actually done is it sealed the radiator cores. Yeah, I might have to show you guys the picture instead. But pretty much, what happens with a radiator is the hot coolant from the top of the engine goes into your top hose, and then it splits across, and then it trickles down these channels in the radiator, and that's how it cools. It cools while it goes through these channels. Now, in my case, I don't know how many channels, but majority of the radiator, maybe half the radiator at least, the channels have been blocked off, and that is why I'm overheating at the moment. So this is a problem, and I'm going to fix that by just flushing it, and hopefully it clears it all out. And I still think the water pump's a problem, because realistically all that stuff should be pumped through the engine, and it seems like it's just sat at the top and not gone anywhere and just filled the radiator in. So we'll unbolt everything and we'll flush it and we'll go from there. So I'll let you know what else I find. And plus I might put the old thermostat back in, just because it looks like it might have better flow than the high flow one that I bought. So that's another thing I'll probably do. But yeah, I'll let you guys know. Right, day 2 of the water pump saga. I've got every bolt off, but there's 2 bolts that, as you can see, I'm having a bit of trouble with. I can't get them off at all. I'm tempted to put the grinder in there and grind them off, but I could damage other components. So because the water pump's knackered, because I can feel play in it, I'm just going to try and cut it out. I'm going to try and cut the pulley off anyway, so see how I go with that. I think it'll be the safest option, but there's just so much happening here, so we'll see how we go. I tried to get it off with the saber saw, but it's like a hardened steel shaft, and so I've pretty much given up trying to get that off. I'm going back onto the nuts, and happy news is I managed to get the nut free. I can chisel it with the with my flat blade and the hammer. I got in with the saber saw. I've been cutting away at it, and I finally got it to move. So I've only got one more nut that I've got to pop on this thing, and it is in the worst spot. It's underneath. So I'm hoping once I get that out, I can give the water pump a tap, and it might loosen that nut underneath just enough so I can start undoing it. And hopefully I've not threaded, not threaded the other one, not damaged the nut too much so I can get it off. So come on. 3 hours later, and 2 nuts that was the worst nuts I've ever seen in my life.
What did he say?
I finally got it off, so well, almost. I just want to show you guys. I bet you there's nothing wrong with it. Here we go, moment of truth. That has to be a genuine, never been removed part off this car. There's nothing bloody wrong with it. Fins are still moving, so did all that for no reason, really. There's nothing wrong with that. There was play in it, so it's probably best that I replaced it, but there's nothing wrong with it. So here we go. Everything's back in. New water pumps down there. So I filled everything up with water. I started at the top, or the highest point I could, and fed water in there, so everything should be filled up nice and solid. Like there'd be not much air or air gaps, but once we run it and the thermostat opens, all the air should push out anyway, and I'll keep an eye on the water level as well. So let's fire up, and fingers crossed everything's all good and no leaks, and that'll be it. Oh, sounds good. Everything's fired up and spinning right, so yeah, just watch it all now and see how we go. Woo! Well, with the nav mobile again, we decided to head out and see some tourist spots. First up is the Ufston Sinkhole. The sinkhole was once a typical limestone cave that was formed by the corrosion of limestone rocks by the seawater waves. The sinkhole was naturally created when the chamber's roof collapsed, and then made into a garden.
It was very cool to see, and we can see why it's a popular spot to come and visit. So here we are at the Big Blue Lake. The locals say it's not very blue for this time of year, but we still think it's pretty blue.
Fascinating. So the water from this lake is provided through the limestone from underneath, and it's filtered through. So it only needs to be lightly chlorinated, and then it feeds the town water. So this is pretty much the town's water supply-ish, part of it. So that's why you can't really go swimming, motorboating and all that in it, because they want to keep it nice and healthy. In 100 years, they have seen the water level drop, which they reckon is due to the decreased rainfall and the increase in water usage. We drove around to another viewing platform of the lake before heading out to Centenary Tower.
A steep hike up the hill on a flat path to reach the tower. Steep hike up, but we're there.
A cool piece of history to see, and a great view over the town and landscapes.
And what goes up must come down.
We checked out Little Blue Lake, which is actually a popular swimming spot in the summer.
A bit too cold for me and Rusty today.
Well, with the conclusion the poor Nav has a cracked head, we made the hard decision to head home.
We felt the time was right and the best thing to do for us.
Close to a 21-hour drive from Mount Gambier to Brisbane.
Just on our way, driving on the highway, Kurt felt something. He's down there getting the rest of the tyre. First blowout. Oh no.
Our first blowout.
While popping the spare tyre on, this local policeman saw us and asked if we were okay.
He said he would pop on his lights and stay with us until we were on our way. Very nice of him.
After a little chat, we were all good to go.
And just like that, we're back on the road. Let's get out of here. So we're here at Tower Power, and they don't have any high flies, which is what I'm running. So I'm just going to get a second-hand one, because it's just going to be a spare till we get home. And I want to put some new tyres on as well when I get home, so this will work out in the end. I'm just going to pull it up, chuck it in, and hopefully be out in 10 minutes.
She a bit shredded.
She's a bit rooted. So a quick backstory with this tyre. It was actually the original spare on the caravan, and it was about, I don't know, 15, 20 years old. So that's why it blew out. Even though it was brand new, the age of the tyre just wasn't enough.
Alright guys, we are officially 10 minutes out from returning home to Kurt's family. Woo! On the sunny coast. Pretty crazy. Woo! We're gonna see him soon.
The Nav made it.
The Nav